Page 56, Space Walk. Here they are introducing half steps. Half step is no biggie, but they are important to know and understand them because we talk about them sometimes and we use them in describing things. So it's good to know what a half step is. Simply put, it's the shortest distance between any two keys on the keyboard. If I go up a half step, it's just one key, white or black. If I go down a half step, it's like a sharp or a flat, goes up or down a half step. And that's really all they are, half steps. They sound terrible, but there they are. Now, if you have a passage that goes up by half steps or down by half steps, that's called a chromatic passage. They're very common. There is a standard or a typical fingering I'd say, because there's a lot of different fingerings for chromatic passage, okay? Typically, you would use the 1 and 3 fingers. Typically. Not always. Spacewalk does that. They use the 1 and 3 fingers. That type of thing. And that's fine. Get used to it. The fingering you'd use is a 1-3-1-3 between white and black notes. Typically. Not always. Typically. And a 1-2-1-2 between the white notes. Typically, not always, but typically that's what you're going to do. Now, the fingering here, for the first line and the first couple measures, as long as it's a white note, black note pattern, then use the 1-3 throughout this whole thing. The last few measures, it's white note to white note. There you use a 1-2-1-2 throughout all of those. You may have to look down at the keyboard to see where you're going in the second line there for a little bit. The first couple measures you've got, that's not a problem. The first 3 measures, but then to go to the 4th measure, your right hand's going down. I don't know if you can do that without looking or not. So you may have to look down for that one, and then you may have to look down each time because now you're moving around quite a bit. Let's do spacewalk together. There's a fermata on the last measure, the last note. It's a half note. So instead of 2 counts, I'm going to hold it 4 because I'm using a metronome. The ritardando I'm going to ignore. And the andante moderato thing I'm going to ignore. We're going to do it slow. I put the metronome on 70. These are all half notes. Okay? So to get us started, let's go ahead and put your right hand on where it goes on the C and the left hand on the B for the next measure. No pedal, okay? I'm going to count us in. I'll give us 4 counts and we'll play this together. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, off.